I feel so hungry.
Yeah, I did. I told you that I was coming in the way. So. You guys, can you move down? Come join us so that we all in. Are we all in? No.
Yeah, we here.
So something.
We here.
We
Wait.
in.
We here.
Huh?
You come. I'm cool.
You want to be close?
Yeah, I'm all
I
right.
want to fill these spaces.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh, yes.
I'm all right.
You in the video. Maybe just one more sequences. You're good there. I think that's the cutoff.
I'm all right.
Yeah. I don't see.
Oh, stay there with that. There you go. Stay there with that.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gandhi Ambrose, Municipal Chair, Committee Chair. Okay, call to order introduction. We have, today we have a street naming.
Yeah.
Or the Jesus committee board member. Karen Chamorro, committee board member. Francis.
Oh, I'm a Francis committee member, neighborhood resident.
Portia Wilson, committee board member. Claire Salayento, committee board chair.
Stephen Palmer, CB1 staffing.
All right. Yes, sir. Again, my name is Gandhi Ambrose, Chair, Municipal Service.
Okay.
All right, a new business, again, we're here for the street naming
Mm-hmm.
of, a brother, and I'm sure, did you get the list of requirements? They had all the requirements, right? I mean, they were submitted the list of what required to. Right, yes, right?
You can call the presenting candidate.
All right, okay,
And then you can verify the position.
okay. All right, so, Reverend,
What street are they talking about?
Are they here first? Dr. Reverend Herbert Reeves? Okay, so you guys can take the floor and present,
Present.
whoever's presenting about.
At this time, I'm Ms. Goodwin, I'm a board member, and I've come in support of Sharon Baptist Church street naming.
Mm-hmm.
The pastor is here, the members is here, and the pastor who is deceased, who we are requesting the name of his daughter is here. Ms. Beulah, who has been a lifetime member of that church, will do the presentation.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
We are here because we would like to, I should say, my name is Beulah Merrill. I'm from the Sharon Baptist Church, and I'm here in reference to the late Reverend Dr. Hubert Reeves, in reference to renaming the street of 740, 827 Forest Avenue, which is between, I believe, 157 and 160th Street. 158, 158. And we would like to rename that in his honor. And if we can, we would like for it to be done ASAP.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's our and your next name, your next renaming. I understand you renaming, I believe, in June and December.
Right.
So we would like to have a spot in June. And like I said, we have, this is the daughter of the deceased pastor that we want to rename.
Okay.
Yes. And she's also a reverend,
Mm.
Reverend Guillermo. We also have one of the deacons in training here, my pastor, Reverend Kevin Jackson.
These are members of the congregation of the church. Are they gonna give us a little history
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, we need some
Can somebody
history
give us a history
of
of
why you asking for?
why do you want a street name for him?
Oh, we thought that would be a good, in order to honor him.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was talking to some people, they said, thought that would be a great,
Mm-hmm.
accomplishment.
Tell us, what?
He served the community
Yeah.
for
Oh,
40
yeah,
years.
that's on his
In
bio.
one day,
Have it? All of it's on his bio.
40 years.
Yes.
It's been there longer than 40 years.
Yeah, I think that, of course, I was born and raised
It's 100 and,
It tell you what he did and what his intentions were. He didn't do all the things that he had intentions to do. Before he passed away, he was in process of going out into the community and trying to make a better community.
Yeah.
But he passed away before he completed his job.
And he also worked with a lot of the children. He's
Yes.
about the children and the black.
So street lights on the church.
Yes.
You know, we put, yeah, let me tell you.
Sharon Head Start. He started at Head Start.
That's something that needs to be put forth back up. I was having,
What
Sharon Baptist Church started at Head Start, and at that time he was the pastor.
One thing that I really want us to make sure that we follow the guideline is that what the requirement was.
yeah,
One of the requirements is the signature, about the 500 signature within the confine of his residence of the area.
mm-hmm.
On the street, and the signature must be hand-signed signature, not online signature. So if those, and also the picture of the
Okay,
person.
let
on
me
the-
answer that. I was told when we first started communicating
Yeah.
that the petition, at this point, I didn't need it. So, but now after speaking to, Councilor Solomon's, Salamanca's office,
Mhm.
he did say, go ahead and get them.
Yeah.
Although we probably really don't need it, but I'm gonna get them.
Yeah,
But I'm asking you, will I be able to get those and bring them to you within the week?
Yeah.
The problem with that is it happens today, the vote,
Yes.
and so we were voting today.
We're only meeting
We
once a
have
month.
to verify that the signatures, of people who live there are in,
Oh,
are
but
in
you-
support, and that's just the,
You, listen, if I say I'm gonna get them.
no, I got
They
you.
will be in that vicinity. I will get them. And I will bring them to you Monday or Tuesday.
We're looking at the next,
I understand.
right,
So
so
I want
to be totally transparent, honest, we're looking at the next session of street name. It won't happen, that's just too short notice and
No.
have everything. It won't happen. And I saw Ms. Goodwin.
Ms. Goodwin, Ms. Goodwin.
call to answer a question. We've done it in the past.
Mhm.
As you take the vote, you can make a stipulation that if the proper paperwork is presented to you and it's not certain amount of time, am I right? Certain amount of time, it can still be passed.
Mhm.
You can make that stipulation on the vote. If they don't meet it, then it won't go through. But if they agree to have the paperwork to you within 10 days, then, and you make the vote on that, it can go through. There can be a stipulation to the vote.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Ms. Goodwin. I don't know if you want to jump in, but
No, go ahead.
I do want to say, I know things have happened in the past. We have a new leadership. I want to make sure that we stay in uniform and to the guidelines as it's supposed to.
That is a guideline.
No, I got you. But what we want to do is be a board that votes on things when we have everything in place and not wait until anything can happen between now and 10 days. And so we just want to make sure that we have everything so that when we do vote on it and make this decision, we say like, we have the signatures, we verify people who live there and support.
Okay, the error came from the first vice chair. We approached Mr. Perez when we were preparing for this.
Mhm.
And he told us, I called Freddie to see if he could be here to verify, Freddie Perez. And to see if he could be, so in error, he told us something wrong. So That's what happened.
Let's be certain.
City manager, because I have a checklist of all the stuff and after we asked about it, I checked that off and we didn't have to get the other teacher. That's the reason I don't have it.
Right, so we wanna agree to this, but right now we can't even put a stipulation in it because we have to vote on it today. So it'll give you ample time to get the signatures and everything to verify us, because that's gonna take time for us also to verify those 500 signatures. So ideally, this is gonna look at December. We have plenty of time for December for sure.
Was 100 signatures.
How many, you said 500?
No,
It's-
yes, from what I was told.
It's 500.
Someone said 100? That's what I was told.
Okay, let's pull all this stuff to the side. Let's look at the historical significance of what's going on right here in Bronx County. I was born in Bronx County in 1949. I remember when they put up public housing, passing housing was the first project in Bronx County in 1950, Road to 50. And I remember when they had a display in passing houses in 1947. The white folks had a demonstration down there, no blacks in the Bronx. Niggas stay. I'm looking at these pictures hanging on the wall in passing center. And also, I remember fighting my relative with to get them houses out there in the suburbs. When the federal government was guaranteeing no mortgages, they had clauses, no blacks need apply because the rent was too damn high to live in the city. Grasping that fact, how the black ministers out here who get into because we was predominantly this area right, predominantly Irish. The Italians were doing up there on Cortland and Mars out the Jews on the ground cover. No blacks were allowed to live except one. Grabbing that particular concept, the fact that I was going just to get a place to live, let alone a place to worship. Because most of the black churches in Bronx County used to be Jewish synagogues, quiet as kept. They don't want to talk about that. But when you grasp that particular fact and the Stonewall and the lack of truth in the curriculum in the public education system, and the fact when they said there was a black burial ground in Hunts Point, I said we need to stop Stonewall and put the truth out here, let the chips go over forward they're going forward. Rename Street, just like we did the same thing up there, Testimonial Church, Reverend James Polite. Put the truth out there, let the chips fall forward. Stop the Stonewall. Because number one, why leave the city and go to these so-called concerts, jazz concerts outside the city? I run the folks who used. Let me finish this point real quick. Okay, yeah, who used to live in the Bronx, but they still own the property, collecting that lease money and rent money, and ain't putting a penny back in. And we're the ones stuck here and have to deal with all the resources that have been taken out here. So I say on this particular name right here, put the name up there and teach the truth about who fought to build this Bronx. I'm gonna finish it up one last time. Outside the indigenous population, the oldest ethnic group in Bronx County and New York City are the Dutch.
Yeah.
Now, who is the second oldest ethnic group outside the Dutch? The Dutch were slave masters. So, based on this particular historical fact, the renaming of the street is justified.
Well, but what I'm a little concerned that is that
That's the point, Mr. Francis.
Okay, the renaming of the street is justified. When you go down to Mount Haven Church down there, Mount Haven Dutch Reformed Church, I remember that going back to that church. I used to go to St. James.
But let's stay here.
We're gonna stay right here.
Let's stay to the
Okay, they got a burial ground right there going back to the Civil War. They found them graves back there where they digging up, put them buildings down there. Grass now particular fact, there's a whole lot of stuff going on here which is being covered up. Put the truth out here and let the truth.
is there a relation to that this issue?
Yes. Yeah. Put the truth out here and let the chip fall where they're going for.
No,
the time to cover up. Cause a whole lot of stuff. Cause remember
what I'm hold on just 1 second. What we're trying to establish,
yes, sir,
is the requirement.
No, I got all that. I got all that. But that's just a Stonewall.
If we don't do that,
yes, sir.
They were already given wrong information. We want to make sure we establish that before we walk out.
What you talking about goes back to Sonny Carson. When I remember that issue when Sonny Carson when they see how the Sonny Carson, all of a sudden everybody started to block it up.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, well, let's stick to this subject.
Yes, sir.
I just want us to establish.
Yes, sir.
that we meet the requirement. For instance, another thing is a letter from the next of kin notarized.
Yes, sir.
All those things must be presented.
Okay.
I don't want to. I just don't.
No,
want
I got that. Yeah. Okay, we got all that. We got that. And you have the back of the parishioners and so forth.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Just, I think the problem that I'm hearing right now is the fact that we were told misinformation.
Yes.
Since we were misinformed,
Right.
now we are at the hands of suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you, and I understand where you're coming from because you're saying that we can go until December, right?
No.
However, if we were given information so that it can be done now
Right.
in June, and we were given misinformation, that's not on us. That's actually on the folk who shared that information. So we should be penalized for the lack thereof.
I really understand that, but just first of all, let me let you know one thing. I'm a very good owner of a representation. It's about time we put our name where it deserves to be.
Okay.
Okay, so there is no intention here not wanting to have that done, but we want to follow the guideline that we're given to follow.
And we
Now, my question to you would be this, right? What would be the difference if we go in now or them? It would that change anything? It would not change the size of the name, it would not change the value.
So what will change is time.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know how much time anyone,
Mm-hmm.
right? The faster we
I
do,
feel about the same.
I mean, but again, it's not on y'all because if we don't provide that information,
Yeah.
then
And you're
in the clear, right?
So the bottom line here is this. We don't want to not approve this, but we have
understand.
systems in place. Unfortunately, there was misinformation, right? But what happens is, and that's part of like coming to the board to get the information from actual like the DM or the chairperson, right? There are processes in place. So it's not like we just want to make sure, right? And unfortunately, this naming got caught in the middle of the transition of leadership, the transition of policies that we're putting in place because we're following what we're supposed to be following, right? So we're not doing the old of, yes, we can do things with stipulations and because that's bending the rules. We want to stick to the guidelines as they say. And we want the requirements to be for everybody. So if, the requirement is that for you, it has to be that. Right, so we don't want to say, okay, we'll do that because then we'll have to do it for everybody.
The old didn't establish the stipulation. We as a chair and other chairs have used it in the past.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So
Came from us as chairs
Mhm.
in advisement to the committee.
right, but
Okay.
the regulation. So if you look it up, there are regulations
Of
that
course,
have to be followed.
but that's why you have a board. That's why you have committee members, and that's why you have flexibility.
Okay.
Now, we understand, and I know they understand, it's going to be named
Mm-hmm.
regardless.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
no,
I think so too. I agree.
I think one of the reasons that they wanted it to happen in June was it was around the pastor's birthday as well.
When did the conversation start with Community Board 1 to have this street name?
2 months ago. 2 months ago, but I had to wait. I was given the information to do because they had never
This
done
is
it
the
before.
first time I heard, as the chair of Community Board 1, it is the
We
first
didn't
time
come
that
to,
I'm
they
hearing.
didn't come to anybody. What happened, my church street name came 2 months ago, and I was telling them about it. Okay, we just named our street Reverend Sutton and Sister Sutton Way. So I was explaining to them how it's done and the process.
Yes.
Well, what we could do, we could expedite this particular matter, because you said it's best. What we're talking about basically is just guidelines. Don't worry, guidelines, okay, it's not edge in the stone. We have an issue right here, name of a street, honor gentlemen who have brought great credit to the neighborhood and so forth, to build a community. Fine. So this particular issue can be expedited. They say, yeah, we're going to name your street. And so, could we follow the guidelines even though misinformation is put out there, but we feel that it's judgment need to be honest. I say that because July 4th is coming up. And I'm a firm believer of Frederick Douglass, based on his speech July 5th, 1852, in Rochester, New York. Because I know in 1827, 3 years now will be what? Oh, yeah, the 200th anniversary of what? Oh, yeah, end of slavery in New York State. That's the bottom line fact. Also be the 200th anniversary of opening of Sing Sing. So instead of Stonewall, let's put the truth out there in the chips for what they're going for. So, we're going to honor those who say, yes, we're going to build this place up and to make it a much more positive environment to improve the quality of life. Let's name the street.
And I think we agree with
And can I make one more comment? You say you hadn't heard of it. A lot of you may not have, but we've been living right here around in this circle.
No, I haven't heard about the street name.
Okay.
No,
Not about,
this is something we brought up, but
right,
you
that's
got,
what I was
you
saying.
got like 200 years of us
Oh,
right here.
absolutely.
Me and Beulah been here 32 years
And I-
right here.
I've been here
And
42.
this is why.
So we got a lot
But
of
I'm
years
just
here.
saying,
I
Your
get
way,
you,
I'm
Miss
talking
Lou.
about this district up
I
here.
got you.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of churches up
You
here,
bet.
a lot of Baptist churches up here.
Mhm.
And as we go down the way, because I've commuted with all of them, the ones on 138th Street with the Mexican population. all of them. So what we trying to do now is get the street name after a pastor who's been dutiful and dedicated. Even though whether you approve it or not, we're gonna get it done.
Mhm.
And
That's the most important.
Well,
thing.
And that's-
I think,
Go ahead.
I just don't want, I don't want it to be a challenge thing between us. We all live in this community, or we are the gatekeeper, like I always say to this community. The same way you see it, we see the same thing. But we're just trying to proceed the way is gonna be fair and according to the that's all it's to it. And the brother just referred to his birthday coming up. There's gonna be another one coming. There's gonna be another. So really, I don't personally think that this is the only birthday anniversary that's gonna come up. They're always gonna be. And if the next one is gonna happen, we wanna get there all together and join the ceremony together as a family, as a community, to make it happen instead of just being. I think himself today for what he's done for this community. If you turn around and see what we're discussing, he probably say, "I don't need that street name because I was a good person. I don't need that to be a good
Okay, so
person."
let's see the signatures. Once we get the signatures, let it be next week, we submit the signatures to you, okay? So if you can't do it then, once we submit the signatures to you, we need to know when is the next meeting we can present this issue to you. So
It
that
would
we
be, we could present it at the June municipal services.
at but we would have to come before municipal first.
Yeah.
To June, full board,
Mhm.
okay?
But understanding that May 15th is the deadline for street.
Oh,
So it
But
would
the
fall in,
signatures, you're gonna get the signatures before May 15th.
right, but the members don't get together again until June.
but we have a special meeting.
Let's go and move in the first week of June.
We can have a special meeting, that's exactly.
Can I, with all of these requirements on the website?
Yeah, actually, the requirements are on the website, the city's website.
Okay.
Yes.
And I like to,
But also,
and I like to emphasize on the signature specifically, it doesn't have to be online. It has to be handwritten signature from people.
You got that, you got that.
I just want to make sure that. Don't come out.
I think at this point, it's disappointing news. It's clearly,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Yes, it is to us too. Yes.
it's disappointing news. However, I do want to know that what you said was a little insensitive. Yeah, only because,
What did I say? Can you repeat that?
it's okay.
No, repeat it so I can
All right.
correct it.
So you said there will be other birthdays and other
No,
birthdays.
I'm sorry. I meant, no, because you say it has to be done because it's anniversary is coming up, right?
Let me-
And I take it back and I apologize if you took it that way. But what I mean,
let me sit down.
So, that can be taken insensitive. In an insensitive way, in an insensitive manner, simply because there are family members that would like to see this happen. Now, we don't know what time, which is why I said
oh,
the issue.
I got you.
So you don't know
Now I got you.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, just saying that it's another birthday. Or
No, I
another
take that
birthday.
back. I told you, can you get it back to me?
Thank
I'll
you.
take it back to you.
Presenters and
Would like to speak.
get to,
Yes.
and we'll get to, I'll definitely get to you in a second, but what I wanna say is this. It's not about not having a street name, right, you know, and I get that is disappointing, I'm disappointed, I'm just hearing this for the first time, right? So there's a lot of, and that's what we're trying to get away from, historically, that's just how the city has functioned, right?
Yes.
Under my leadership, it's not something that I want, it's something I want. And so I want to make sure that we dot our Ts and cross our Is, and we are fair because, or vice versa. And that we're fair, right? Because that's what's important. What's important to me is that we're fair and that nobody could come to our door saying, well, you did this for this person, or you did that for this group. That's never going to happen.
It has
What
to
we
happen
can
though.
say is, these are the guidelines and this is how we want to, you know, move forward. The fact, you know, 2 months is very short notice when we're talking about a street name because there's so many things in place. It requires the community board to verify signatures. It requires the community board to do their research on the person that's being named. Right. So there's a lot of stuff that's required that goes with that. So yes, while I feel, right, because I feel bad that we can't do this, but it is something that we have to make sure we follow protocol and policy. So
I first want to say that, I know that you have rules and you have regulations that have to be followed. I get it.
Yeah.
But I also know that when people are given misinformation, that there has to be some grace for that. It has to be some grace. It's not our fault that we received the wrong information. So having said that, the other thing is that the reason why we wanted it in June 5th is his anniversary date when he passed away. And it was also his anniversary month as pastor. So we wanted to honor him in June. This is the reason why we're pushing so hard for it to happen. But I you know, I get the rules and regulations. Every institution has rules and regulations, but there should be some grace allowed when things happen that's beyond our control. We only followed the information that was given to us.
and I apologize that you were sick.
But there is room though.
We absolutely, I think there's always room. The unfortunate part is that we just can't bend on the doors.
No, we didn't talk about building the rules.
And I get it, Francis. I hear you.
But there is a way of going about doing it.
And we are.
No,
And we are. And we're gonna get there.
No, follow this logic.
And we're gonna get there.
Follow this
And I
logic.
think you have input. I heard you. I got it. I hear you.
All we gotta do is take it to the
100%.
council person that represents that district, and that council person goes before the committee that represents that, before the particular deadline, and everything that, all the objections and so forth, we put right there in front of that council committee. It has been done in the past. So basically, I don't see, what's going, whatever it is going to be talking about right there, because like you said, it's just guidelines for those who want to make president. Now, Mr. Smith can play, that's a plus. We misguided. That's how you go into the council person, represent that particular district right there, to put before the city council, in front of that committee that oversees street name process, that we got to have his name put on this particular street, with this particular time place. It has been done. So, all they can do is 2 things, yes or no.
I'll make sure the next time the information gonna be dotted on the dotted line.
Mhm.
In the news,
Other
too.
things happen
Because
though.
everything happens, you're not gonna hear it, you know, sometimes we late hearing stuff, but, it's okay. It's okay.
Cause too many times though, people's names should be up there. Yeah. Cause there's some names on these streets I want to tear down myself.
Within 5 to 10 days, and they will be delivered to you. Okay? That goes without saying. And now what else do they need to do? So let's do it now.
Okay, let's get it.
Not for next city council, not for next city council person,
He's
just
on- The council person is aware, we spoke to them today.
tell them to be prepared to go forward and make the presentation,
The next to King.
so forth. And,
So we have,
he's there for a reason,
So
to
we-
represent the interest of the people.
Well, yes, we need a signature, a picture, his picture, a notarized letter from the next to King.
I do let it.
Okay,
So the-
On the signature, I mean,
I got 2 issues anyway for on the new business.
So the same letter, just notarized.
yeah, just notarize the letter, that's it. The picture.
and then 150 signatures.
You see how it is? Now, let's,
Yes.
let's use this as an example, because we don't hear. You heard it happen.
Yeah.
A mistake was made.
Yeah.
What you told it had to be
Mhm.
doing. These things happen. You know, we all may be old, but some things are.
No, and I don't think
No.
it's as.
Wait a minute, I'm not talking about that, I'm not talking about age, I'm probably the oldest one in here, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying things happen, things change, so we all allow, that's why you racists and all pencils. For mistakes, but I'm just saying, see, if she got the letter, we didn't know anything about the notarization.
And may I ask the question, do you keep that when she just get another letter to be notarized?
No, you can, if you wanna take
you can
that.
take
I
that,
think it's
take
just
it.
notarized, yeah, just.
So we can get another one.
I think what is a little unclear right now is, are y'all tabling it for, to bring it up in June at the next meeting, or are they doing it for the next 10 days?
Mm-hmm.
No, it'll come up in June.
It'll come up at this meeting in June,
In June,
Yeah.
and then it'll go to the full board in June, but the street will not be named in June, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Oh.
So you on this, can I? So you got everything now? The notarized letter, a picture of the reverend? The hundred,
That's my
See, that's another thing, nobody told us that either.
all right, right, but they did
Yeah,
say
no,
that.
And I did
Okay.
ask that
a
question.
picture of the reverend, 150 signatures, the notarized letter. We're all on the same page now?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I do apologize, really, I've not been insensitive to what I said. It just,
I wanted to
I just want to make sure that I take that back
remember.
and see that I was. I'm serious, I feel very bad because that's not what I meant. That was not my intention, okay? So again, we here as a family, we're doing things together. And the only process is that the government has a way of doing things. And this is what it was presented to follow. If it was for me, we can go out and do it right now. We can go out and get it done right now.
Are you the pastor currently, the current church?
Mm-hmm. And he's very, very good, I like
Can you
all
share
the
your-
information, very, very good. I mean, at his church, when I'm in my own.
Yeah, I'm aware of Sharon Baptist Church. They're very active. They're very active.
He's an educator in our community as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
No, but,
A lot of people know him, he's an educator in this community
well,
as
but,
well.
okay, could I make a small comment? Yeah, no, I just want to say I am aware of the Sharon Baptist Church. I have lived in this community all my life, and that has been an enormously contributing church in our community. And I know that, yeah, I do remember, Reverend Reeves was an amazing, your father was an amazing, I was only a teenager when I met him. I was 16 years old when, but this was a man who really made a great dedication and commitment to our community. So, I'm aware of the fact that Sharon Baptist Church have always been leaders of our community, and the role that, as a matter of fact, at a point in time in history, when church is declining, if there's one place that is active, it's Sharon Baptist Church. You have to fight that. So I commend you for that, and I compliment you for the enormous work that you have done. I'll tell you what, if there's anything we can do to help with that process, hey, that's what we're here for. See what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you just a hint, it's amazing that these procedures remember, are not necessarily put in place by us. I'm not, if I were in charge of this city board, there'd be a whole lot of things changing in 1 minute. Okay, but obviously that's not it. Listen, if it was me, I would have been saying yes, yes, yes to you right now. And I would have been, guess what? Tomorrow we can get that going. But apparently I'm not, unfortunately, the mayor of New York City, because if I were, that'd be another revolution all by itself. So, but what I want to let you know is exactly what has been explained to you. All we're really doing is following the necessary procedure, really, to keep you safe, to keep you on that safe lot. Yes, Sharon Baptist, but I know the Sharon Baptist Church has always followed procedures. I know that too. And if there's one group that has been a leader in this community, it has been, and I commend you for that. And we've always had high respects for what you have, the role that you have played. So, interesting enough, I mean, if there's anything, and I don't think it's going to be hard to get those signatures, and it's not even an issue of signatures right now. The next time I would like to know at this point, who gave you the wrong information and where did you go to even get that information on that level?
I was in conversation, we went to a barbecue.
Okay.
We were discussing it there.
Okay, I was there too. Okay, yeah.
We were talking to Mr. Perez
Okay.
about the process.
Okay, you know what?
So like I said, and that was 2 weeks.
Right, and that, yeah, about 3 weeks. So it was last month. Already in May. Mm-hmm. Okay.
It doesn't even matter because I'll take full blame for it. I know what I heard, but I take it.
There's nothing to blame you for. But there's nothing to blame you for. Okay.
So now that we're here,
Yeah.
we need to know what the steps take. If you're gonna do it in June, if you're not gonna do it in June, we know what we need to do.
Okay, okay, understood. And I wanted you to know, okay, but it's May now. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna let whatever blah, blah, blah told you at whatever barbecue or dinner or picnic or whatever was happening. And at this point, we're gonna move forward and we'll do things right in such a way that it's not gonna backfire on you. And trust me, it's gonna happen. I believe it. Listen, okay, listen, but I believe it's gonna happen. Nobody's here to blame anybody. And that's all I wanted to say about that. Okay, thank you. But thank you for being here. Huh?
So, did we get some more street names here?
Are we over with?
Yes.
Okay.
I just want, just to be clear, we know
Yeah.
what, and then the signatures are signatures and the address. of the people. So we just want to make sure that.
I know
So
what we need, so
signatures have to
we can have it straight.
addresses of residents within 2 block radius of where the street name is gonna be.
Okay.
Good? And then we'll connect after we receive those documents.
Who's that council, please? Yeah. No, you ain't got with it. Make copies, man.
And I give my number, if any questions, if no one has it, but you can take my number, it's 917-328-8772. This way the questions are direct.
What's the number?
917-328-8772.
What's your name?
Clarissa.
Thank you.
Please come and hear this man preach.
Y'all invited.
10-15.
He's an educator in this community.
Yeah.
The boy, yeah. They take him with me.
Yes.
Okay.
Laquan, that's way?
Laquan.
Okay, everybody see you, man. Okay, have a good evening. Okay. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You got 3 more issues. We raise your value. You ain't go to sleep. I'll be up 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Oh.
He's not here.
He's not here.
Oh, I have a letter.
Okay. You can give it to Steven.
Clap my bill. Yeah.
You can come up.
Yes, you are. Good evening, everyone. My name is Helen Bernard. I'm here on behalf of LaQuan. What's his last name? Dash, in support of him, okay? Grandmother's here. LaQuan just passed away a few weeks ago. You all heard about LaQuan.
This was in March?
March 7th. March 7th, we all heard about it. He was 17 years old and unfortunately his life was taken away from him.
Okay.
Okay, everything is here. I don't know if anyone has the information.
No, just have. Can you tell us about Laquan, please? His.
He's 17 years old. You want me to read this letter? We are contacting you to request a co-naming of 145th Street and St. Anne's Avenue in the Bronx as LaQuan Dash Way. The request is in honor of LaQuan Dash, a 17-year-old who was taken from us in a senseless crime of gun violence on March 7th, 2024. We believe that co-naming the street where he lives would be a powerful way to keep LaQuan's memory alive and reminds everyone that his life mattered.
Okay.
LaQuan was an exceptional young man. Respectfulness, politeness, and helplessness made him a beloved member of the community. He lost his life. He lost his left life. It's gotta be like a void that can never be refilled. LaQuan was excited about his achievement and his acceptance to Buffalo State University. He was looking forward to the senior trip to Spain and graduation in June 2024. But his life was tragically cut short. Co-naming the street where LaQuan lived would be a fitting tribute to his memory and a reminder that his life was meaningful. It would also send a powerful message to the teens and young adults in our community that life is precious and everyone life matters. We cannot afford to lose any more innocent young children to senseless violence. We urge you to approve this ceremonial street naming request as soon as possible. This will honor LaQuan's memory and provide some comfort to his family, Vivian, friends, and loved ones. It will also serve as a reminder to all of us that we must do more to prevent senseless acts of violence in our community. Thank you for considering our requests with this gravity and sincerity in which we written.
Thank you. And how do you know LaQuan?
How do I know LaQuan? Through his grandmother.
What was your relationship?
I just saw him in passing because I don't normally live in the same building, but I know him been in like about 5 or 6 years already. Was a young man, very handsome, very educated, very respectful. And he was always with his peers, doing good.
Did his peers know about today happening?
Yes, but the gentleman told me I can only bring 2 to 3 people.
Who said that?
He did.
Oh,
He did.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah,
And
well,
I went by what he told me.
oh, wow. You can fill up the whole
I would have
room.
loved to see
Yeah, well,
But
yeah.
I saw pictures of the balloon ceremony, the candle lighting, everybody. His church did this. His
Can we see his face?
What school did LaQuan go to?
Legacy House. Right?
He was his teacher. You were at Legacy?
And he did.
That's the.
I'm at Dream.
Well, I see nothing disagreeable with it. Right? Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
I've known her for 47 years.
Mm-hmm.
My mother has lived in the same building with her. She was a teenager. Okay? Then I thought when they moved in. I've known LaQuan since he was a baby. and that was my baby.
Did you raise,
No matter where.
Yes,
this raised with grandma?
yes.
Oh, yes. This young man did not dress thuggy, okay? You never saw him like that. He would roll up behind me and just grab my neck, kiss me, say hello. I mean, he held the door for everyone. Okay, we have a super who's Dominican, and his English is kind of off, and he was really broken up, and he told me, are you okay? So this is the way he was.
Yeah.
Okay, this he was amazing. He was amazing. She did a great job. And he
Grandmas
has a
always do.
sister.
I was raised by mine too, so.
That was left. She said she lost her best friend. In May, the Compton Kids Program are planning an event in St. Mary's Park, which will be with his school as well. They're getting the date together to be a tribute to honor him with his peers. August 24th, I'm having my block party on 145th Street. And we're doing a boxing event for the kids because we're trying to get one of the officers that grew up in the building that knows since she was born there.
Where did you guys live?
443 San Antonio Avenue, between 145 and 146, next to, right, for the St. Mary's, next to the Betances. And this officer, she grew up there. As soon as she heard, she just jumped on it because the officers, she works in Brooklyn, that's where the cops and kids unit is at. But none of the cops want to come to the Bronx. She said, well, I'm going to the Bronx because that's my building. I know him, I know his grandma. And in August event, we're doing that because we're trying to get a gym up in the Bronx. I've been trying to get a spot in this area because we have to do something for our kids. This can't continue. We gotta get there. We have to get them motivated. If it means putting them in a boxing gym to exercise or whatever it is, to get that energy out, then so be it. And he's going to be the real one because they haven't done anything with the case. The person they had, they claim is not the person, but they're not charging anyone, which I have an issue with that.
And was this it wasn't
He
intentional?
didn't know the person.
It was a.
So no, it wasn't intentional. There was some issues with people in the school. And so the gentleman, whoever this guy is,
Also a student at Legacy?
no, they came from somewhere else. And so he made a threat and followed up. And so unfortunately, the quad was hit multiple times. Survived for a few hours and succumbed.
Where did that happen? Was that on TikTok?
On Caldwell, across the street from us.
Oh, this was the
So
one.
difficult you got right now. Nobody will step up to the plate and say, that's the stuff that I saw.
I can't hear you, sir.
No, the difficulty you have right now, I used to
Nobody
monitor court
can
cases.
identify.
Nobody can step up to the plate and say, that's the person I sued you for the
Right.
that guy.
Um, And if I can just speak on the quad as a student, he was a great young man. Literally was the leader of his entire crew. Would go out of his way to try to make sure that they went to school.
Yeah.
Literally, this is no fabrication. So, very infectious smile. Brightened up a room. A leader in the classroom, a leader in the hallways, literally the best of both worlds. And so unfortunately, that afternoon.
Okay, so right now we need at least 150 signature, we should all
We have signatures that they were
Short.
No,
But however, our property, where we live, we got 361 units, how about we say 4? We'll have over. And that will be done. in
no,
just
but what is
about
it, you
2 days.
don't have it now, that's why.
I know,
But see, that
but
wasn't told
that
to
wasn't told to us.
That wasn't told to us.
That was another same thing that happened with the church. The miscommunication.
And when I brought the in on Monday, I spoke to that gentleman right there and I informed him that I had over 2,000 signatures online and he said, great. Those was his words.
Okay.
It was never told to me that I could not get signatures online. Never.
Don't worry,
But you also, we also need the picture,
That wasn't
the notarized letter.
That wasn't.
I know, but this is why we having
I
our.
asked him, did he want the court papers that I had legal custody of him? He
No,
said,
no,
no.
we don't need that. We don't need that. You need a letter that you want to name you the street, that's the notarized letter of you, you're the grandma, you be decide. You do it, your name.
We need the same,
The same, yes, you need 40 more signatures. Picture, notarized letter.
But those also have the address. I don't think those have the address. Do they have the address? They have the email address.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't want they. That depends on our schedule. Their names and, but these are probably kids that went to school with him. I know, but we can't. Show me what it is and what, I really want to.
These are online signature. If you see the zip code, they have to, the signature has to come
On the
from
paper.
the signature. Yes, right. See, if you look at a zip code, yeah, it's not, the school is the school, the school is not. It has to be for the neighborhood. That's why, yes.
People who live, that's the way, that's two blocks.
It's only one building, it's where she lives.
Which building is it? Is it?
443 St. Anne's.
It's,
And.
Batanzas Community Center is
It's right
here.
in the corner.
Right.
It's the only school building.
Is it part of Batanzas?
No.
But everybody in the town is known.
It's Michelana.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody in the town is known.
And we get 40 just from there. Of course, we have 19 more.
We're gonna table, we're gonna table this, wait for the rest of the stuff,
Yeah.
and then we'll,
Okay, 5 minutes.
we're gonna figure out.
But he had to stop giving out wrong.
No, and he, we, don't worry about it, cause he didn't have the correct info either. And so bear with us, you know, he's the new admin. So we're gonna work with the church, we're gonna work with you guys, we're gonna try to figure something out. If we can just get all that stuff together.
That was also sent to Diana,
Okay.
Right, yeah.
and I was gonna speak to Ralph, you know, as well, just because I said, we're doing something. We can't let this guy, he's not gonna, no, we're keeping him alive.
And the next time somebody tells you can't bring nobody, you bring a whole stack.
Listen.
Doesn't matter where you go. It's all good, he didn't know, he didn't. You know why? Because we didn't, you usually don't know, but when you gonna rally your troops, you gotta rally your troops.
I could have had the whole neighborhood. So, the whole neighborhood would have been.
We're all new.
But we wanna do this, we wanna do what's right, and we wanna make sure, you know, we wanna make sure we. Sure. After,
Yes.
we'll be in touch and figure things out.
You're gonna stop what? No, no problem.
Now that you're like I said.
Yeah.
Figure All right, anybody else? So we have.
All right,
what do we have next?
we have,
The boxing world week. Okay.
Beautiful, remember? I know, but then you gotta go.
Person that will be needing to go the week of boxing.
We're gonna make your-
It's gonna call World Week of Boxing, yeah. Yeah, I'm confused.
The next person, he's my neighbor, I don't know who's gonna be here today, but we only gonna do is we sign his petition. So we're-
Come on up, who's next?
come on.
I wanna see the
Nice
lights.
to meet
Good evening, my name is Anthony Manzanet. I am the son of Ron Manzanet, who is facilitating this movement. I'll be speaking on his behalf, if that's okay. Okay. I can refer to him with any questions I can't answer myself.
He doesn't wanna speak?
I believe that I'm better suited to address the board at this current time. So again, I'm going to be his son and an intricate part of it.
Is he's presenting this though? This is his project? So
Absolutely. He is the founder and it originated from his thoughts and his idea.
And he can speak.
He can speak, but I think moving along, since we've taken a long time and get to the settlement process, I speak on his behalf. If you need reference from him,
That sounds reasonable.
if you need him to speak, it's not a problem.
he speaks Spanish, ¿eh?
He speaks Spanish.
Tú puedes hablar en español. Nosotros lo traducimos. He can speak in Spanish and we can try to speak. Okay, no te preocupes, but you know, if you wanna, that's cool. Don't worry about it. So if you're doing this on podcast, that's fine. He said, both of you can stand there. He can talk and you can. I mean, quédate ahí, él habla. No te preocupes, deja que él hable. Pero.
So how do we begin? Do we address the why and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it originated from the neighborhood, 142nd Street, Brook Avenue. Gentleman's been living there since 1977. He's been a pillar of the community, not just through boxing, but other services provided for the youth. He's been an administrator and in boxing for over 55 years. The reason we want to use this particular name is because for the first time in history, boxing is now being celebrated in a week's term as opposed to just a day that Canada gives boxing and the United States only recognizes the sport one day. To recognize the contributions that boxing has done towards the community. They made an interesting point that there's not enough facilities, there's not enough places for kids to go.
Yeah.
I myself have ran programs like Cops for Kids, the PAL, Aspida, Midnight Basketball, remember that? Did that in St. Mary's and did it in a couple of places in Harlem. So I was there in the inception of those programs, and if you know as well as I do, the results are legendary. Those programs are not available here. So I'm trying to go down that path to have those services available. To name this, we have it patented, the actual name. The importance of it is the collective, in conjunction with the streets, how boxing has played a major role, creating a safe haven and a place and an outlet to learn discipline and to deal with the emotional intelligence that we don't have. So if you pass things, so you'll see his experience with household names like Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, M.L. Griffith. He had a gym in 28th Street. It was the other place that boxers would go when they fought at the Garden before Gleason. Gleason was the other gym. So Ross Playing Club in 28th Street, right across the street from the Fashion Institute of Technology. So again, this man has been nothing but selfless when it comes to providing services, including farms, roller skating, live boxing, amateur boxing in the middle of the street. We've had countless closings of the streets for over 40 years, including community projects that we've collaborated with these young ladies right here. We do this every year. We close the streets, we do a backpack program, back to school supplies for the kids.
This is
Okay.
Sparkles?
I'm sorry,
What's the name of this development?
OUB. Yeah, that's 370 Brook Avenue. It's a 4-building development, including the buildings in 145th Street.
He used to have a boxing club down there on 149th Street.
Yes,
Yeah.
there used to be 5 and now there's only 1.
Yeah.
There used to be one.
And a whole lot of people got Iran Buckley came out past town.
Absolutely, and we've worked with Iron Buckley too, with other boxers as well, not just the list that you see there. But many champions that actually ended up and came from the box.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlos Ortiz, Benitez, and Camacho, just to name a few.
Okay, take a breath. Is it a 501, not for profit?
No.
So,
You see, used to be the PAL, used to have a PAL down here a while back. Used to be down there for the club, literally.
You gotta let the chair.
All problems like that.
Just kind of, yes, you wanted to say something?
No. I wanna, I know he jumped in, but I wanted to make sure that you guys were finished or saying.
Well, I'm just giving you the
Yes,
basic
the
foundation.
context.
You got questions?
I have 2 questions. So, on the chair first.
Great,
Thank you so much.
Okay, Tyler.
so, yo tengo 2 preguntas.
Take a moment. Go ahead.
Do you have a brick and mortar, a storefront, someplace tangible, address?
No, just the apartment that you live in, the actual corner.
And we're not naming it after a particular person, just you want to look at the organization itself?
Right, because selfishly, he's still around, so.
Yeah.
You know, stuff
So,
like this, they will go up there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But since he's still around, what came from this neighborhood because.
No, I understood everything you said. I recognize the organization, I know it.
Absolutely.
So that's why I was asking if it was a 501, it's a not-for-profit, so that's already know on both things, okay?
Right, definitely not a 501C or 501.
Yeah. That's what they wanna name it, no?
So that's where we name that street.
Yeah.
World.
Well,
In addition, yes, World Week of Boxing.
That sounds reasonable. That sounds reasonable. Oh.
I have a question, Chair.
Yes.
So one of the things that, as a chairperson of community board wanted, the street naming, I get it, right? It's an
I'll be
honor,
back.
it's nice, nice gesture.
Excuse me.
But one of the things that I'm trying to push for is if we name the street World Week of Boxing on that corner, what is the contributions? What is that? What does that mean? What's gonna happen? What do we see? Because, you know, frankly, I'm constantly walking through the street and I see names and, you know, fulano de tal and this one and that one. And there's nothing happening, you know? And so part of with approvals is like, okay, you know, we all live here, this would be great. We look at it, we know this is an organization, we did great work, but how do we continue the legacy without just it being something we just walk by it?
I can answer that.
Yeah.
In addition to just recognizing it, this is an ongoing process that we plan to continue to offer even better services that we have already provided in the past. It opens the door for, we're actually growing. The group, we recognize people on a yearly basis. Last year alone, we've had so many people come in that contributed to boxing, to come through the neighborhood and participate in the event that we had. So we plan to close the streets and do AAU boxing. We plan to do collaborative efforts with other co-locators in the neighborhood, and even further, since this is the world, it's not just to the particular area. This opens the door for other people to come in and contribute to the community, which we know we need as many resources as possible.
Are there any other partnerships? I know we have South Box Gym over on, what is that, Third Avenue? Any other partnerships in the community in terms of building the box?
Well, you know, St. Mary's is no longer there, right? And then there was another gym in 141st Street and Willis Avenue that just got discontinued as well. But we're seeing these things being abolished one by one, so it's great. The actual brick and mortar representation is almost impossible because there's nothing really left to do that with. That being said, there are many people that offer training services and boxing facilities that we are in conjunction with, including the one that you just mentioned. And we plan to reach out to every single boxing entity within the normal
area.
perimeter and then expand further from that. So we're gonna try to do it in a small radius to get the locals involved and then expand on that route. And again, if I didn't know we could bring representation, because I don't think you could have housed the amount of representation that we could bring these days.
I grew up, I'm on the other side of the district and I grew up in the Iran Barkley
Nice.
territory. I'm from Patterson, so you know, that was big.
Patterson Projects?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
That's the boxes came from there.
A lot of good boxes. I know the importance, right?
Mhm.
I get it. It's just, I'm constantly trying to think about like, okay, what next and how do we build from that? Other than saying, yes, we've approved the street name.
Well, we plan to apply for grants. We plan to facilitate, again, these services. This is in conjunction with a lot of other community activities that are going on. But just for boxing itself, the importance and not just recognizing it, to continue a dying sport. Unfortunately, it's not as popular as it is with the UFC coming in, but the discipline is necessary to teach these young kids something. And if we lose that, we're losing an intricate part of the growth and development of these children. Me, myself, if it wasn't for boxing, who knows where I would be.
There was one in the sunshine. I know there used to be one on the sunshine, yeah.
Absolutely. We are very familiar. Everybody knows my father. My father's a legendary person. Again, he's very humble and he's not a person that puts himself out there and boasts and is arrogant about his accolades. But they speak for themselves and it's undeniable.
It's Bible.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the book that I wrote myself. I became an author from this community as well.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Alright. So, I lost my train of thought. Come back to that.
So again, just to finish, in conjunction with other services, not limited to just that, but this is a big movement, and to have it originate from here and build from that, I think that's a great asset to have in the community.
How come, when did you start formulating this? I see since 2022.
We first started working on getting contributions towards the yearly event that we do for the Black
Okay.
neighborhood program with them.
That's not what I'm asking you.
But then that led to the facilitation, because he was waiting for the patents and everything to come through in order to propose that.
But
This
you
has
made-
been, this has been in conversation for at least 2 years, but we didn't take full stride of it until last summer. We wanted to finish the back to school,
Drive
and all that.
That's what
We
I
wanted to
understood.
finish that first and get that out of the way, because that was proposing heady, and we didn't want to have a conflict of interest or put too much on the table.
Because these letters are old, they're 2 years old.
22 years old.
Right, that's when we first started running those letters, but we didn't present those letters until last year.
No, all right. Constructive criticism, ideally, it would be nice to get updated letters.
Absolutely.
But that's quick.
I'll write that on my
Did you speak
notes.
to the elected officials about this? Because I don't see a letter of support. I mean,
He
you
has
didn't mention nobody's name.
There is a list of letters of people. The reason why I gave you those letters that are outdated is to show you the people that we have been reaching out to. It might not be in accordance with the time, it's just to let you know who have we contacted, that it's not the first place that we've tried to reach out to.
I thought that.
Right, that was the whole emphasis on giving you letters that are old. It wasn't a time-based thing, it was more of we are reaching out to other people in the community and other board members and other boards.
So you guys are still doing the work of bond, right?
Yes.
For instance, we had a young man who was killed, same block you guys lived on.
Right.
So I'm wondering, like, is there commitment, right? Is there commitment to getting these young people who are in our communities to loop them in and give them the training, right?
We don't necessarily have to take lead in boxing. We can work as an advocate to put kids in other programs as well. We don't have to be just because we're the founders of this movement, doesn't mean that we're trying to control.
You have the connections to put the kids.
Absolutely, it's as an advocate and co-locator family. So we will reach out to everyone that is involved supposedly in boxing to see where they're at this movement to work together.
I will say, if we approve that sign, we'll hold you to the
Yeah.
fire of the.
I hope you hold us accountable, because that's
Holding
what
our
makes
kids,
people
because-
move forward.
It's like you say, we can't afford our kids to die. And I think programs like that,
That's the officer that grew up, was born
Oh,
in February.
yeah,
Lisa
programs like
And-
that,
was part of the programs that they talked
Yeah.
about, and the dances she grew up in the
Yeah,
neighborhood, and look, she's NYPD, she's
Yes.
boxing.
yeah.
We also have countless testimonials.
She wants to bring a gym
I don't,
over.
I don't take that away from you guys. I think,
She's
like,
gonna
for
fight
me,
on the
and
Quasbury
so
our
true.
policy,
Yeah, I've heard
the
of-
problem is-
I've heard of Lisa. An amazing person indeed. She's amazing. She really is.
For me, it's, let's
Wow.
name the street, but also let's get our kids.
Yes.
Right? Let's get our kids, let's get those kids. I'm not talking about the easy kids.
Right,
No,
that's
I'm
what
talking
most
about
of
the
the
hard
thing,
kids.
that's right.
Because I work in the school, and we are constantly like,
Yeah.
I know what boxing does. You know, you gotta be tough to fight that, and you gotta have been through something to want to box. And so Lupin trained me at South Box, and so you know it's important. But it is a commitment to say like we're gonna name the street, but we're also gonna, you know. So like I'm not saying we still have to get some things done, but
I tell you
if there's
this,
a commitment, then that's what matters.
I have an abundance of resources, and not just in the community, because again, this is the world. Talking about the Bronx and South Bronx of Los Angeles, I have done an exceptional research. I'm working right now, people outside of the community that want to contribute into the community. This has to be done in order for them to see it as the catapult,
Yeah.
so to speak.
The only one of the things that I'm kind of concerned that always that come before us here, that things walk away in downtown.
Right.
I just don't want to be a matter that it just hang on, just take a picture, then it has no value around. We want to hang that medal here on you, but we want that medal to be seen by anybody that you've done something that you've changed the life of a child. Because I always say we're a gatekeeper of the community, but we all are the community,
Absolutely.
right? So I'm looking at him right now. I can tell that he's a very dedicated person that through his life done a lot of good things.
Thank you.
But my question is that, is it where are you guys functioning right now? Where a child, I can tell a child that you can go over there. Do you have any physical place where activity you're doing right now?
Right now, we're working with those resources. We're trying to locate what those resources are. Again, they're very limited. That's why sometimes we have to go outside the community because the
No,
limited
you know,
resources.
and so what I'm trying to find out now is, I mean, you are looking for resources, so you don't have it. Let's say if you're gonna take 4 years, so within that 4 year, I can send a child, say, you wanna do boxing, go over there, or you wanna, see what I'm saying? That's where my problem is right now. Because I give you an example, for instance, St. Mary is closed, right? There used to be a boxing place. If there was one, La Centra here used to be a boxing when I was young. Yeah, right? So, and I'm sure you probably know all those places. Right now, we have none, right? So if we give you this right now, about a year from now, when we come back to you, can you come back to us by a year from now and say, hey, this is what I got, so this is what I'm working on?
Without a doubt, and if it pleases the committee, could continue this conversation outside to give you reference of what we have been doing. to keep
No,
you up to
I'm
date.
not, the been doing, right? I'm a guy that believe that what we went through as a youth, we went through it. But what these kids now are going through, we don't know how if they're gonna make it or not. So we need to be proactive, putting things in place to stop them from being bad. It takes a village to raise a child. We went through that, all that, but it's no longer today. Today is not a village. It's the government versus the parent.
Absolutely.
And that's what it is today, right? So I'm just saying, do we have anything, because really what I'm looking for is that, so a year from now, really, I want to be able to myself see that you guys come to your celebration or ceremony that you're doing, knowing that we've been through that process together.
So
That's all I'm
I
asking.
guarantee, I give you my word that we are working right now to facilitate programs like closing the streets to give live boxing AAU training. This will lead to a facility, brick and mortar, as you desire, but it takes a process to get there. It takes contributions, it takes planning, it takes a whole lot of things that goes into that. But right now, we are able to facilitate and at least guide kids to whatever programs are there as long as we create this conformity between the programs.
They had everything, but I just want to ask another question. All right. Do you see any benefits as to you wanting to have this street named after this organization?
Personally, no.
Right? So why is it important for you to want to have the street name?
Well, my father has
His
dedicated his
legacy, I know
whole
his legacy.
life to boxing. And I myself has seen the numerous great stories that come from this. It's undeniable, right? So going forward, having this serves as proof that things actually are recognized, and going forward, this can be used as an accolade to open the doors to further give these services to kids in need.
So right now, you're doing boxing with people right now?
Yes, I am working with boxing right now. He is still heavily involved with the politics and the boxing himself.
Okay.
Now, he's a man that's 82 years old. Right now, I cannot scratch his
I know your
shoes.
father 50 years.
I know you too. So the whole thing is this, right?
He's been to my mother's house to eat my dinner.
The whole thing is the whole generational wealth concept, right? Passing it down to give it to someone who might be a little bit more modern to deal with what's going on. Like my brother is a dean of a charter school, so he deals with these kids on a daily basis.
I also think like, these are things that have to be documented in our, right? As history, right? So I get it, to have something like this as a legacy. And how does this become the history of the South Bronx? How can we embed that in? Because this is who people were, this is who, communities
Yeah,
were
but,
impacted. Boxing was a way. At one point, it was a way for a lot of us.
Absolutely.
Growing up here in the 70s and the 80s. And so, I think, if the paperwork is good, if you went through the paperwork and they're good, I don't need anything.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Just a quick question. Now, you just passed a book, Life Above the Norm. I know for a fact, I belong to the Lit Bar, and those are the kind of books that we would order by bulk and like to place it in our, we have a library section now at the Lit Bar. Because what we do is invite the youngsters and the youth on a Saturday to come and pick whatever book they want. And we sponsor them. Okay, so I'm gonna want to order that book, and I'm gonna want to know how we can order it.
I'm all for
Okay.
that. That's part of another program that I'm gonna actually work in conjunction with what he's doing.
And I know that the Mount Haven Library is gonna want to order it and have it in their library. I want that we're trying to get authors like you, that when a youth, especially, we're targeting the youth with something like this, comes, these are the kind of materials that we want to have. Wait, there's an author right here in your neighborhood, and this is your library, and we were able to order a good 50 copies of these books so that you kids could have it. So I want to know how we could order your book, and I'm even going to get it in my library.
I can give you direct access to the landing page.
Okay,
Which tells you a little bit more about my backstory personally.
okay.
What I plan to do with that book is I have a publishing company and I'm going to
So-
offer literature contests in different schools in the neighborhood. So that
Okay,
we can promote-
Can we order it? Can we sponsor that book? We're going to want to order a box of at least 20 for the library and then for the bookstore that's here in our neighbor. I belong to the Lit Bar. I just came from a meeting with them, okay? These are the kind of books we're trying to get in there. Okay. The Lit Bar is located right on 138th Street. Oh, okay. There's a website. You could just Google it and look it up.
And I think that, I think I'm one of those kids that was the guy by somebody, and I know what it means to you. It's one of those things that you don't, when you're dancing, you don't see if you're missing a step. It's somebody on the side that sees that.
That sees that.
Okay, and you doing that for him, and I think that I feel it in my heart.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you.
And so far, everything is good.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that I personally want to hold you, not him, is that we put something together that a year from now, you come up here with an invitation, we'll all come and celebrate it together.
That's right.
I'm here for that.
Okay? No, because again, we don't want you to continue his legacy by yourself. We want all of us to continue that legacy. So you don't want to leave us out. We're all gonna do that legacy.
Well, I'm gonna meet you.
And I'm just telling you, I actually, as I'm speaking to you, I've been running a soccer tournament for past 14 years, or 15 team, African team, and it used to be 32. The pandemic came and cut it down. So every Saturday and Sunday, I'm at Yankee Stadium dealing with
That's all.
so I do that, okay? I got about 400 that I deal with in a weekly basis. So I know what you're going through. If you're gonna carry that legacy, really, I take my hat off. Not too many kids today come like families. I'm trying to get on my own kid to see things like me, but they only see things their way. So if you do that, I take my hat off. And I just promise
It took a
you.
long time. I had to actually develop myself to take this position and to do it flawlessly and take accountability as well. There's a lot of steps to accountability.
Well, you're good at advocating for your father.
Thank you so much.
We're gonna move on, and Bob, I promise you, he's gonna hold the torch with us, not by himself. We're gonna be behind him. Okay?
So what,
We need a motion.
how can I order that book?
So we're gonna make a
You're-
motion
okay.
to approve.
Okay.
Karen, who second?
I second it, order the history.
See, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
in favor?
All in favor?
It's unanimous. It's unanimous. Beautiful. Okay, write your information down. I'm gonna be ordering that book and we're gonna be adding it to our library, and I have my own, yeah, go ahead and put it right here. Put your name in. I wanna know, we're gonna wanna buy several of them and add it, make it a
And I will
permanent.
come and speak about the book and get more kids involved in writing and stuff.
He's giving me the
Is it all
information.
business?
I have one question.
Thank you so
said the
much.
signatures have to be in a 2-block radius or a 4-block radius? 2 blocks.
I'm gonna order a copy for
But their
myself
property
too.
is further than 2 blocks from me, and we underneath the same property manager.
Beautiful. Thank
Yeah, but it's a management. Management.
you.
Is that enough?
Thank
Because I
you
gave
so
you my
much.
name,
Okay,
the name of the website, and then you can get it on
and
Amazon.
I could get it through Amazon. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna tell yours, but I'm gonna be in touch with you. I'm gonna call you, okay? Yeah, give me a number.
You don't need the building number? That's what I'm saying. her building, which is part of my property.
Right.
I'm in, she's OUB.
Okay,
What block
Anthony,
is one?
Argelia Ortiz, encantada.
But what's the relation?
You on 40,
No, she is saying,
you on 42nd, I'm on 45th.
it'll be, yeah, that'll be.
Okay, okay. I don't want nothing when I come back. You understand?
Yes.
So please.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. Okay.
I second the motion.
Thank you so much, baby.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who's driving around here?
Well, but all I have to say is,
Anybody around here driving?
Got gas, I need to sign.
I got gas money.
Oh, we need about.
I gotta get put on the account.
but you know what I was gonna say, Stephen, you know what I think
I just want to get to my front door.
you could do?
Right there, about here, 142.